everybody. Hey, welcome to our final mid-quarter roundtable of the year. Usually we talk about markets, economics, rates, housing, elections, anything related to your financial situation, but more importantly, there are things that affect your personal well-being. Well, today we thought we'd take this discussion in a little bit different direction, but something that very much affects your life on a daily basis. First off, no, we did not replace Kyle, at least permanently, but we do have a very special guest today to introduce. This is Dr. Melissa Milanak, a renowned licensed psychologist and executive consultant who specializes in something we all care about, which is sleep. Just a couple quick notes to introduce Melissa. She's got over 20 years of experience in anxiety, sleep disorders, and stress. She got her PhD in clinical and community psychology from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, which is really important to me. I had to mention that. Currently, she's a faculty member at the Medical University of South Carolina, and she does speaking and training throughout the USA and internationally, including recent talks for Barron's and the CDC. And today we thought we'd have a discussion around one of our most popular talks, which is understanding sleep and anxiety for optimal performance. Welcome, Melissa, and I think we can all say we're really fired up to have you here today.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to have the conversation.
Perfect. We thought we'd just start with, kind of the basics, like what made you decide to study sleep in the first place, and, why is it important, and why did you make a career out of it?
Sure. Well, I actually started in the world of PTSD and trauma. And I was originally thinking I was going to go to medical school, and then I was in college during 9/11 and completely shift gears. And that's where I really turned to want to do more work with trauma and PTSD. So the summer after, in May of 2002, I started going to Northern Ireland and doing work with the conflict and the troubles, and spent the last 22 years back and forth working with colleagues and doing that work. And then from there, I've spent the last 6 years now working in South Africa, doing work with communities post-apartheid, with new generations coming up, designing treatments to help children to be able to sleep and deal with their trauma. And it really has just built over the 20 years of, as I was doing more and more work in the trauma PTSD space, that the most common symptom, the most prevalent symptom was sleep disruption. And not just nightmares, but the inability to fall asleep, to stay asleep, all of these things that so many people struggle with. So I started spending more and more time in the sleep space. And next thing you know, it's, can you work with my teams? And professional athletes are having questions about sleep, and corporate executives, and doing a lot of work with our military. And it built and grew from there. And for me, what I've learned is you help somebody to sleep better, and you can really help to give them their lives back. You help them and their families, and it has such the opportunity for impact. So love doing the work with the stress and anxiety and trauma and addictions and how it all comes together. But sleep really came out to be the foundational core that impacts so much of it.
And finally, we'd like to thank Amundi Pioneer for sponsoring this podcast and our time with Dr. Milanak.